Hello everyone. Let's get today's Kursk update started with a look at Putin's pontoons. First, we'll start with ones near Glushkovo. These are the ones on the foot, or the Quentin Tarantino crossings. In blue, early on, we saw a crossing constructed here which was destroyed by Ukraine. This one isn't visible on this satellite image, but it does lead to a stupid area. The land where it leads to is surrounded by pools and streams and boggy grounds and other obstacles. But we'll see with the next satellite image that Russia does keep rebuilding it. The one highlighted in red is visible on this image, and this is the main one in the area. Let's have a look at the aftermath. So, you can see the crossing near the toe was rebuilt. It's visible but looks waterlogged, so it looks like it was hit again and partially submerged. The one on the heel, completely gone. You can also see a lot of burning around the area. Now, the imagery here isn't clear enough to pick up vehicles, but I think it very likely, given the signs of burning and the fires around here, that Ukraine managed to hit something that was either waiting to cross a pontoon or had just finished crossing and was waiting for the rest of a column to cross. I don't think you'd get this level of burning with just the artillery impacts without them hitting something. Hopefully we'll get some satellite imagery, clearer ones, to confirm it. Russia has another two crossings shown here. On the left-hand side, a new pontoon crossing built near Zvannoe. In the centre, the Zvannoe bridge. The bridge we've seen is in very bad condition now and can't support heavy vehicles. In the imagery, it looks a bit still standing, but there are many holes in it, however, as seen in this still image from a drone video from a few days ago. So this bridge can't be used for resupply other than very light vehicles. Here's a photo from the ground of the crossing we've just looked at. Going back to a satellite image, not highlighted by the uploader, is another small pontoon crossing shown here. This is an odd place for one, as it leads into a forest, so it doesn't seem like vehicles could actually use it. I expect this is used by troops travelling over by foot. But this is even weirder, because it leads Russia over the River Seine, only to get stuck behind the River Seine. I have no idea what purpose this pontoon serves, to be honest. Here are the known pontoon crossings of Russia so far. So, one at Kursk, near the bridge, two near Zvannoe, which I just looked at, two near the foot that keep getting hit, near Glushkovo, and one east of the Glushkovo bridge. As for video released by Ukraine, the big one we have is this. This video clip shows a strike on an R-300Zh Zhitel electronic warfare vehicle near Radutine in Kursk. It isn't the clearest footage, and it is a bit jerky, but we see numerous artillery strikes hit the tree line where the vehicle is hiding. We then see the vehicle try and escape, nudging its nose out of the trees before being hit by an artillery shot. I am surprised we took the risk of trying to move it. Would likely have been better to stay put and hope Ukraine thought we had already hit it. Blinsk on Twitter geolocated this to the tree line here. This doesn't tell us very much, but here's its location zoomed out. So, to get orientated, it's north of Suja and east of Koronivo. These are the two big familiar settlements in the region. This was recently released yesterday, but Blinsk estimates it was hit between the 14th of August and the 22nd, because of a change of territorial control pushing north into this region. So, what is an R-300Zh Zhitel? Well, it's this, a mobile truck-mounted jamming communication system designed to cover the front lines, designed to detect, track and jam satellite communication and cell phones, and it can also jam GPS navigation systems. These aren't junk, these are actually pretty good vehicles. The Royal United Services Institute released a paper this year saying that these are able to impact the GPS systems that JDAMs rely on. And they used to be able to affect HIMARS until the US modified the software for the GMLRS missiles used by HIMARS. So these are pretty good, and so are good targets to remove. It's unknown how many Russia has in service, but 38 of various variants have been destroyed so far, listed up on Oryx. This next one is a video from Russia Today's news source, so it is copyrighted, but I'm going to use screenshots covering the key hits. I've put the full version of this on Patreon for free if you want to check it out. The subtitles are in Russian, and the video is too long for the Capwing app which I use to auto-translate, but it is worth a quick watch. So, it shows Russia driving along a road towards the front lines from Glushkovo, and going past a number of destroyed Russian vehicles. First, we see a burned out BMP on the left, and on the right, a vehicle which looks to have been caught by a local fisherman, both of them destroyed. On this screenshot, we can see a destroyed KAMAZ supply truck, and in this screenshot, another KAMAZ truck, as well as a crappy white van. These are all near Glushkovo, which you can see Ukraine is pushing west towards. Glushkovo is one of the major settlements in the region. If Ukraine reaches and captures it, then they also gain control of two of Russia's pontoon crossing points, and there are only a few points on the same river where Russia is able to build pontoons, some of which are near Glushkovo. All the vehicles in this clip were reportedly hit by FPV drones. And these are newly confirmed losses. I don't recall seeing any videos of these vehicles here being hit near Glushkovo. So these are newly confirmed ones, which I expect will be added to Oryx. From the Russian side, two videos here. This first one shows a Russian drone strike on a Cossack APC. The APC is moving through a forest and there is a small settlement when it parks up. We then see a drone dive into it. It's a standard type of video that we've seen before, but it does have a very interesting geolocation. So, this Cossack NPC was first seen on the northeastern part of a settlement called Russkoe Porecnoe, before moving southwest before being hit on the outskirts of town. This was on its own, but this certainly suggests that there is no Russian presence in the town, as this Cossack was driving around quite freely and then parked up. I wouldn't say Ukraine controls it yet. I think this was a forward scouting element or something like that. As the vehicle was driving around on its own, we saw no signs of other Ukrainians. But the settlement is looking like it's abandoned by Russia, because the Cossack could drive around freely, not only at the south end of town, but at the northern bit as well. This is near Cherkasskoe Porecnoe, which we looked at yesterday and the day before, the scene of some pretty heavy fighting. Given the Cossacks' presence here, it seems that Cherkasskoe Porecnoe can be classed as Ukrainian-controlled, as forward elements of Ukraine are pushed beyond it now. Likely the small village of Kositsa you can see nearby as well. This is here on Deep States' map, still marked as contested, but given the Ukrainian presence, Cherkasskoe Porecnoe can at least, I think, be switched to Ukrainian-controlled. Likely this settlement too, given it looked abandoned by Russia. Here's some possible bad news for Ukraine. This shows a HIMARS launcher being tracked by a drone as it fires a rocket in Sumy. There's a cut in the video, and we see a vehicle being tracked as it moves along a field past some trees and past some trenches. This video is sped up by the uploader here. I think it's a HIMARS, as you can see the support vehicle in front of it that usually accompanies a HIMARS. We then see the HIMARS launcher going into some trees. There's a cut of the video and the position is hit by Iskander. Now this is the spot where the HIMARS went in that was hit, but there aren't any secondary cook-offs, but there is a big fire, so it is possible the HIMARS was here. Hopefully though, there is a path cut through these trees for HIMARS to move further inside. If I was in charge of planning the HIMARS' hiding spot, certainly that's what I would do. Have the trail extend 50 yards or so inside the forest to make it harder to hit the HIMARS. This is near Stepanivka, which zoomed out, you can see is about 35 kilometers from the border with Russia, not far from Sumy city. So, this was supporting operations in Kursk. I'd say this is a probable HIMARS destroyed. If so, it would be the third destroyed near Kursk so far, I believe. So, not too much to discuss in terms of territorial changes here. The big one is that the settlement of Cherkasskoe Porecnoe on the eastern front looks to be now controlled by Ukraine. I think we can safely add that as Ukrainian controlled. And Ukraine now pushing into Russkoe Porecnoe, which appeared to be completely abandoned by Russia. So some small gains on the eastern front, but I haven't seen anything really from the other fronts here. Things are quite static at the moment. So that's it for the video. Hope you found it interesting. Now, before I finish, I'm going to play a video from the Ukraine Volunteer Centre about the ongoing fundraiser. Big thanks to everybody who's helped out, and take care everybody.
Good afternoon. Greetings from the Ukrainian Volunteer Center. Kursk region. Ukrainian soldiers and the Ukrainian people showed Russia that we will not be broken. We have shown that international support is very important to us and we are using it to the maximum effect. Now, there is an urgent need for drones and vehicles. That is why we are announcing a new fundraiser. Volkswagen T5 for the soldiers in the Sumy direction, and 2 Mavic 3T drones for the guys in the Donetsk sector, where we are having a hard time. The goal of fundraising is $18,000. For the largest donation, we will raffle off a trophy watch, Commander's watch made in Russia from an occupie from Chechnya. For donation of $50 or more, we will raffle off 1 set of glasses by using a randomizer. As always, all reports will be after the fundraising is over. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your support. With love from Ukraine.